I'm gonna be doing an exposing my high school because some stuff went down at my high school when I was there. So I wrote down some stuff on my phone and I'm just gonna tell you guys about them. One of the biggest things that I can remember that happened was I had a teacher that I don't know how she was caught, but they somehow found out that she's been having sex with one of our students, and he was in my grade and I knew him, and I had the teacher, and the boy that was having sex with her was also in my class. Well, he wasn't in my class, but he was a teacher assistant during my class, so he was in there every day helping her organize papers and files and doing whatever little errands that she needed him to do. So that was really gross to find out about. They were having sex with each other and they were in my class bell, so that was terrible, and it was a whole big thing. It was on the news and everything, and she ended up going to jail. They ended up coming into, I wasn't in the class, but the cops were there, and the cops came to our school and into her classroom while she was teaching a class and just took her out, and they said, you're coming with me. We found out, we know the tea, we know what you've been doing. That was pretty shocking to find out. Another thing that happened there, which isn't, I think that teachers sleeping with the student was the biggest thing that happened when I was there. But another big thing that we had was a really bad mold problem and an asbestos problem. This was maybe my sophomore year, 2 or 3 years ago. And some kids were wearing masks to school because they didn't want to get sick. Everybody had a protest to get rid of the mold at school, although our school couldn't afford it, and that's why they just kept the mold around. Was it a choice? It was, they couldn't afford to get rid of the problem. I think that also made it to the news, but I'm not too sure. Also at our school there were fights every day because everybody wanted to beat everybody up. I don't really know. But one day, right after the last bell rang to release the kids to get onto the buses or leave to go home, I was going down the main set of stairs to get onto a bus because at this point my sister would not drive me home, so I had to take the bus. I think this was also my sophomore year, but a giant fight started on the staircase, right directly under me. I was sitting there watching it, and there was these 3 girls, and then everybody else just joined in because they just wanted to fight. I don't know. So I just elbowed my way through and I got on my bus. I was there's a big fight happening. So I don't really know if people are gonna be able to make it to the bus or not, but there were fights every week, multiple times a week for the most part. I don't know why kids at my school like to fight, but they did, so that was something that I had to deal with. I think the last thing I'm gonna talk about is there was this kid who self-proclaimed himself to be a crackhead. So people would just walk up to him and be like, hey, crackhead. He introduced himself to people as crackhead, so everybody just called him crackhead. So one day we were in class, I was in class with a kid named Crackhead, and along with the same teacher that was caught sleeping with a student, and he said he was gonna shoot up everybody in the school the following day or the day after that. So he was I want everybody to stay at home if you don't want me to shoot you. And I didn't hear any of this, but it was said in the class that I was in. So everybody in our class got called down to the office and we got interviewed by a police officer, including me. And that was one of the scariest moments of my life because I did not know that's what was happening because I didn't hear him say that. So when I walked into the office, there was a cop there and he was he made a joke about not bringing him a donut. And I was sitting there terrified, shaking to death. I was so scared. I've never talked to a cop in my life until that point. And I thought he was serious, so I was I'll bring you a donut tomorrow. But it was just a joke, and he was oh, it's a joke, it's a police humor, and I was so funny. Such a funny joke. He just asked me what I heard and what I knew about this kid. Although the crackhead kid, he was in my class with the teacher that got arrested, and he was also in my study hall class, so I had 2 classes with him. I never talked to him. I didn't talk to anyone in school, to be honest. I would just sit in the back of the class and did my work. I had 1 friend the entire time I was at this school, and then when I went to my other school, I also only 1 friend. So at this point I had 2 friends. Public school is not the move. I'll say that. It is not the move at all.